When I was a little kid, I kind of had this problem, and it's not even that big of a deal. For some reason, I don't know why, just kind of sit around all day, draw pictures of dicks.
What?
Draw pictures of dicks.
What are you gonna do today, Napoleon?
Whatever I feel like I want to do. God.
Is obsessed with Napoleon Dynamite. Do fans come up to you and start imitating your Napoleon Dynamite to your face?
Right to my face. That's fucked.
No shit, it's really fucked up. Here I am as a little kid, and I can't stop drawing dicks to save my own life.
Why? Calm down, man. What? You just cock-blocked McLovin. Okay, he's our friend. We don't do that. We should be guiding his cock, not blocking it.
What happened to weird movies?
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Due to the rise of big budget franchises, box office bullies, and constant reboots, Hollywood has become somewhat of a one-trick pony, with entertainment conglomerates only focusing on making the same types of movies. As a result, many different genres and subgenres have essentially gone extinct. One of these subgenres that no longer seems to get made is a type of comedy that can only be described as the weirdo movie. Basically any film that has Michael Cera or Seth Rogen in it. So, in preparation for this video, I went back in time to watch, analyze, and review all of the weirdest movies I could think of. In this video, I'll go into detail of what I think a weird movie is, list the weirdest movies I've ever seen, and basically just talk about them because that's what this whole channel is about. Welcome to Donnie's TV. If you're enjoying this video so far, please like and subscribe for new videos about cinema, sci-fi, and fantasy every Sunday. Now back to my original question. What is a weird movie? The answer is pretty simple. A weird movie is a film that breaks all the rules of a traditional Hollywood blockbuster. What are these rules? Well, as I said before, Hollywood has kind of become a one-trick pony, and is basically making the same big budget movies with different franchises. It's the same font, just different colors. Because of this, I've noticed a couple patterns with every big film that gets hyped and released. 1. A big budget film must have an attractive cast. It helps if the members of that cast are already considered heartthrobs or sex symbols. Now this has always been known, but I feel like nowadays it's becoming excessive. Like people in high school don't look like this, bro. Not every girl has a perfect body with a beautiful face, and not every guy is either a cool, tough gangster or a tall, handsome, pretty boy. Like they don't represent most men. I think with how important social media is in today's society, beauty standards have gone past the point of being important. Just look at what was considered a nice physique back in the day compared to now. It now feels like every movie that's made has to have a cast with some sort of sex appeal, even if it's a creepy one, or a strange one.
When the sun goes down and the moon comes up, I turn into a teenage Google Bob.
I mean, I literally watched a movie on Netflix the other day called Uglies, and it was a film where the bad guys wanted everyone to get plastic surgery, and the good guys were all about natural beauty and not caring about how you age or how you look. Except all of the people who are supposed to be on the ugly side look like this.
To believe those flowers are turning the planet into a wasteland, killing everything, forcing everyone to live in the city. Come with us. See for yourself.
You sure you want to take her up?
How you gonna make a movie about how beauty is about what's on the inside, and you got Keith Powers and Brianne Shu on the ugly team?
And it's like ironic that the cast for Uglies is the most stunning people I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know, man. It just seems like whenever there's a big movie or series, a big portion of the audience is watching so that they can basically fangirl or fanboy over one of the actors, instead of enjoying the experience in its entirety. Like every girl has to have a crush on one of the actors to enjoy it, and every guy has to be thirsting over some girl in the film. This is the first rule that weird movies break. They don't conform to societal beauty standards. Characters are normal, strange, or just straight up ugly. And the plot, doesn't revolve heavily around relationships and human connection. 2. The second rule that a weird movie breaks is that it doesn't have super high stakes. I feel like ever since Endgame came out, every movie has had these supercharged cosmic stakes. I mean, how many pieces of media have come out that revolve around preventing the apocalypse? There was that one, and that one. Oh, and let's not forget that one. Most movies now have super high stakes, whether it be physical or emotional. It's as if audiences can't connect with something unless it has a huge amount of dopamine-packed emotional writing. When was the last time you watched something about people just going through life? They have their own interests and tastes in food, their own slang, and their own weird, authentic way of life, which is strange, but low-key relatable.
Stuff, you know, when like I have to hide every erection I get.
You know what I do? I flip my boner up into my waistband. It hides it and it feels awesome. I almost put a load into my belly button.
Now, I'm not hating on high stakes. I'm all for the drama and the intensity, but not all the time, bro. In my opinion, this whole Marvel model of making movies is why weird movies died in the first place. If every movie that comes out is supposed to create $1 billion franchise with a whole bunch of intertwined storylines, well, then there's no place for a movie about a weird kid in school who wants his friend to be class president, or a bunch of virgins just trying to get laid.
She's DTF. She's down to fuck, man. P and G. She wants to fuck, man. Tonight is a night that fucking is an actual possibility.
3. Rule number 3 is following the traditional storyline. Beginning, climax, resolution. The hero's journey. Weird movies break this really well. They don't tend to have a plot, and even if they do, the plot isn't the main focus of the film. When you're watching one, it almost feels like you're just being a part of this super weird and wacky world that is created. It isn't super fantastic and wild, it's just a film about some regular people that just so happen to be pretty strange. And finally, 4. The final rule that weird movies break is that there is not intense or passionate acting. Basically, nobody overacts. There isn't this focus on performance or emotion. The movie isn't designed to do anything, it's just there. Now that you understand what a weird movie is, let's go into the 4 weirdest movies that I've watched recently. If you watch until the end, I'll throw in a bonus short film that you have probably never seen. First up, Superbad.
It's in. Oh my god, it's in.
I'm going to start out with probably the most popular one of them all, and most likely the reason why a lot of you clicked on this video. The one and only Superbad. Now I'll confess, I never watched Superbad before I started making this video, but even I knew who McLovin was.
I am McLovin.
Superbad's influence was felt heavily throughout pop culture when it was released. The film was written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. The pair actually met when they were 12 years old and started writing Superbad when they were only 13.
We were writing Superbad. We started writing Superbad when we were 14 in high school. Evan Goldberg, who is my partner who I still work with.
Over 10 years later, they finally got to make and release the movie. The film came out in 2007, and since then has become somewhat of a comedy classic. The fact that you're watching a YouTube video about it almost 20 years after it came out is proof of that. Since Seth and Evan started writing it when they were kids, a lot of the movie was basically based on their life and their time in high school.
Okay, so you're 14, writing a movie based on experience you didn't fully have yet.
No, it was as it was happening. So like a lot of the shit that happened in Superbad happened to us in high school.
So most of the movie is based on real life events, like the fake ID scene.
You changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
Plus, the period blood scene was something that actually happened at a party that Seth and Evan went to.
Who you be with, things that make you smile, what numbers to dial.
It's blood, dude. Someone period on my fucking leg. Oh shit.
Even the main characters in the movie, Seth and Evan, are named after Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Plus, they kind of look like them if you think about it. As I said before, this was the first time I had ever watched Superbad, and I really enjoyed it. Being someone who was a little kid when this came out, it was really refreshing to see a high school movie about a bunch of weird looking kids trying to get laid. Movies like this really don't exist anymore. Movies about the other guys, The kids who didn't get a crazy growth spurt in 9th grade or have a super chiseled jawline. The kids who don't have thousands of followers on social media or are super popular. Every high school movie or show nowadays is, I'm on drugs. I'm sleeping with my ex's best friend. I made a tape about why I ended it all. I framed my dad and sent him to prison. It would be nice to see a new movie similar to Superbad, but I'm just glad that we have it. Yo, I just wanted to quickly add that when I was in high school, the period blood thing happened as well. And it wasn't exactly the same as in Superbad, but any of my friends who watch this know what I'm talking about. And the dick drawing thing, I know a guy who I'm still cool with to this day, who used to have very, very vivid illustrations of male genitalia. And he did art in school, and he used to, back in the day, he used to draw, he used to draw just male appendages, man, all the time. He's had a book full of them. So when I saw it in the movie, it was like, ha ha ha, me too. Napoleon Dynamite.
But I could tell you my favorite movies now. Napoleon Dynamite.
Up next is the movie that probably encapsulates what a weird movie actually is. It has basically no attractive people in it, extremely low stakes, basically no plot, and the acting is either brilliant or non-existent. For sure, the weirdest movie I've ever seen. This is 2004's Napoleon Dynamite. I watched this a long time ago when I was younger, but I forgot a lot of it. But watching it again for this video was an experience. It felt the same as when you discover some old music from back in the day, and you're like, yo, this is what they were on? Since pretty much all the new movies that I've seen this year follow all of the blockbuster rules, watching Napoleon felt like I was being transported to another dimension or something. Essentially, Napoleon is a kid in high school who is just living his life basically. He stays with his grandma and his brother Kip. When his grandma gets injured, his Uncle Rico moves in. Uncle Rico is a guy who lives in a car trailer and is basically still in high school, constantly talking about the memories of sports back in the golden days.
Back in '82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin a quarter mile. A coach would have put me in fourth quarter. We'd have been state champions, no doubt. No doubt in my mind.
We all know someone like this. Napoleon also becomes friends with a kid named Pedro, who is just as strange and awkward as he is.
My head started to get really hot, so I drank some cold water. But it didn't do nothing.
One thing about the movie that I feel like doesn't get highlighted a lot is the cinematography. The opening sequence looks like something that came straight out of a Roald Dahl movie, and the different shots and angles between takes have inspired a lot of content that I see online.
What are you drawing?
A liger.
Dude, that jump looks gnarly.
For real, dude.
I think I got it, bros.
Know a lot about. Yeah, and I look good.
Being someone who was a huge fan of Tyler the Creator, it made a lot of sense to me why he says that this is his favorite movie. The influence that the direction and cinematography had on him can be seen in a lot of his music videos, skits, and even fashion shows. How could you make a video about weird movies without talking about Sausage Party? Even the name of the film is wild. Of course, another movie written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Oh, and Jonah Hill wrote it as well.
Everything we've ever known is a dirt-covered pile of shit, jacking off in our fucking faces, covering our eyes with their cum, so cum-covered we can't fucking see!
This is a movie so out of pocket and weird that the whole time you're watching it, you're just thinking to yourself, what am I actually seeing right now?
It's tomorrow! Dude, basically every single sausage gets chosen on red, white, and blue day.
By this time tomorrow, we're all gonna be 5 inches deep in some buns, son. Ba-bam!
The movie is an animated movie about groceries in a supermarket, except all the groceries are alive and conscious. There are a ton of cultural references made in the movie.
Will exterminate the Jews!
Subjugate the whole damn great beyond.
There are also a lot of out-of-pocket jokes based on real-world experiences.
Told him about the crackers. Yeah, I told him about the crackers. You don't even want to hear what they did to Mr. Grits over here. Fucking crackers. I'ma fuck them crackers right in the crack of they cracker ass.
The whole plot is low-key kind of smart, and is a jab against things like The Matrix and the way that a lot of people believe things without ever questioning them. Basically, all the groceries in the store see the humans as gods, and desperately want to be picked by the humans, so that they can go to the great beyond.
Dear God, you're so divine in each and every way. Take us to the great beyond, where we're sure nothing bad happens to once we're on this life.
Their version of heaven, I guess. Of course, we're all humans and we know exactly what happens to food in the great beyond.
Yeah. Whoa! Fucking chilies.
So the whole plot is basically about some of the groceries realizing this and trying to convince the others of this fact.
The great beyond is bullshit. What? That's crazy talk! Liar!
If you've never seen Sausage Party and love R-rated humor, I highly recommend you check it out.
I'm filling you! I'm filling you! I'm blowing my fucking load, good God!
Seth Rogen had to have been high when he came up with this.
Because I'm in lesbians with you.
What?
I really, really mean it.
Oh, okay.
Scott Pilgrim is actually the movie that inspired this entire video, and is the last film on this list. The film came out in 2010, was directed by Edgar Wright, and had a cast which consisted of many future stars, such as Chris Evans, Brie Larson, Aubrey Plaza, and Kieran Culkin. I just wanted to add that it's pretty crazy that Scott Pilgrim was a comic book movie, and a lot of these actors went on to star as comic book characters in big budget movies. One of my closest friends absolutely loves the movie, and it's actually his favorite film. And when I was watching it very recently, I couldn't help but think to myself, when was the last time a new movie came out that was this weird? Scott Pilgrim is a 22-year-old man and he's dating a 17-year-old high schooler. See? Already this movie would have been cancelled today.
Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler. How old are you now, Scott? Like 28?
I'm not playing your little games, kids.
Years.
I'm 22. 22.
The relationship between them is super innocent though. They only ever kissed in the film, and that was barely a peck, if that makes it any better. Scott is unemployed and lives with his 25-year-old gay roommate, Wallace.
Before you hear some dirty lies from someone else, yes, I'm dating a 17-year-old.
Oh, is he cute? Ha ha ha. Does this mean we have to stop sleeping together?
See another bed in here?
Oh, and Scott is in a band called Sex with Bomb. He then...
Scott, you ready? Okay. Kim, are you...
He then meets and falls heavily in love with a girl named Ramona Flowers.
What kind of tea do you want? We have blueberry, raspberry, ginseng, sleepy time, green tea with lemon and honey, liver disaster, ginger with honey, ginger without honey, vanilla almond, white truffle, blueberry chamomile.
And invites her to one of his band's concerts. At the concert, Ramona's ex-boyfriend comes flying through the walls and declares that if Scott wants to date Ramona, he has to defeat her 7 evil exes in a fight, and he's the first. Now, if that isn't one of the strangest but weirdly relatable plots that you've ever heard of, to find out what happens, I recommend you watch the movie.
That's probably the most fun I've had on a movie. Leaving was heartbreaking. It truly was like the first time I was like, I mean, I can just hang out, guys, if you need me to, you know, you don't want to miss a beat.
The whole thing is kind of like if Wreck-It Ralph was live action and for adults. Even though I'm pretty sure this movie was made for teenagers.
By the end of the movie, I felt like this is my world. This is my group of friends. It kind of feels like, oh, this is always going to be this way. And honestly, I kind of was a little depressed when we were done.
The bonus film is clapping for the wrong reasons. a short film that was made by Childish Gambino and part of his rollout for Because the Internet. I bet you weren't expecting that, huh? I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it ended up being pretty long, but I had a lot of fun making it, so hope you enjoyed watching it. Subscribe for new videos about cinema, sci-fi, and fantasy every Sunday.